Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today on this highly anticipated webinar covering our holidays near home, so destinations on your doorstep with Railbookers. And we're very excited to see so many of you in attendance for this webinar, which is going to cover off some of our Australian and New Zealand holidays. So just before we kick off for the presentation, I would like to remind you that you can download our information sheets. They're available in this webinar box here. So today we do have some information on our close to home product, so our Australian and New Zealand product, as well as a map of Europe. Europe is one of our key products, so we do have a map there that you can download. I would also, if you've got a pen and paper handy, I would suggest taking down our phone number. So our phone number is 1300 938 534. It's just on the bottom of the screen there, along with our website, which is railbookers.com.au. And additionally, if you do have any questions, you do have the opportunity to ask these throughout the presentation. You simply type your query into the box on the side and we'll endeavour to answer all your questions toward the end of the webinar. Now, I should introduce myself. My name is Charlene Wright. I'm the Business Development Executive here with Railbookers. And today what I'm going to be talking about is what we do and why Railbookers really is quite unique. So we are out there in the market. We do have some unique products and I'm going to fill you in on some of those very shortly. Now, why do travellers love Railbookers? Well, we make it easy by providing you with quotes in Australian dollars. So no matter what destination you're booking, we can do that for you. And we have the ability to book 24 months in advance. So this is a game changer. Just as you would have come to expect for cruises to be booked far in advance, you can now do the same for any rail vacation you wish to take. And when you call our reservations line, our average hold time is just 3 seconds. So you can speak to one of our highly knowledgeable consultants almost instantly. And Railbookers offer transport to meet all the bucket list experiences across the world, whether it be here in Australia, going through Alice Springs and Garland, or over the Canadian Rockies, we have it all. And Rail lets you have that freedom and flexibility to go when and where you want, as well as break the journey where and when you like. So unlike going on a coach tour or a cruise, you're not locked into any start or end date for your next holiday. And it's a very scenic option, so you get to sit back, relax, and enjoy the views and avoid that stress of driving. And unlike the flights, there is room to roam, so you can get out of your seat, visit the cafe, the observatory car, or just stretch your legs. And plus, all our itineraries are customizable, so we can piece it together to do exactly what you want. Perhaps it's an itinerary in reverse, upgrade your hotel accommodation, adding day tours, or just make it a round trip. It's all possible with Railbookers. Now, one of the biggest benefits to booking with us is that you're going to have 24-hour support from our team. So our offices are strategically placed across the globe to ensure that when you need us, we're there. So as well as Sydney, where I'm based here in Australia, we have Laguna in California, Beverly on the east coast of the USA, and also London. So we cover that full range of time zones to answer all your calls and provide you with the customer service that you come to expect and provide you with that peace of mind. Now, Railbookers is your one-stop shop booking experience. It is a very easy way to travel. Like any vacation package you may have booked in the past, our packages include everything from the rail transportation, the hotel accommodations, sightseeing tours, transfers, and more. And I must say, unlike the coach image you see here, you're going to get to sit back, you get to relax, you take in all the full views as well as having that room to roam, as I mentioned. And unlike flying, your rail stations are central in all the cities, so there's no more travelling in and out of town for hours, checking in your luggage and doing the same on the other end. It comes with that level of convenience. Now, I know you're all here for our products and hearing all about what we have to offer. So we have 6 holidays within Australia itself, and today I'm going to be going in depth on just 2 of our best sellers. But first, let's go over some of the trains that are included in our Australian itineraries. Now, first off, we have the Garland, and it's been operating for 90 years. It's very famous, not just for being the longest train in the world, but also for its amazing onboard service. So I should say you're going to find sumptuous dining, elegant private cabins, very attentive service, and the camaraderie of your fellow travellers. And all your meals, fine wines and beverages are also included, as well as the immersive off-train experiences. And they're covered in Marla, Alice Springs and Catherine. And our itineraries for what we're going to show you today, they all utilise the gold service on the trains. So you're going to get your upper and lower berths, you're going to get your actual ensuite inside the cabin. But if you are looking to take on, a little bit more luggage, have full-size rooms, ensuite facilities and more space, as well as that VIP lounge access, it's also possible to upgrade to platinum service. So you just need to simply let our reservation staff know and we'll be able to quote this for you. And then we have the Indian Pacific. So the Indian Pacific traverses mountain ranges, it passes through arid deserts and gold fields, through the rocky valleys and subtropical locations on its transcontinental crossing. So it's named for the two oceans that it connects. So you're going from Perth to Adelaide to Sydney over its spectacular 4,352 kilometre journey. And it's going from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, hence Indian Pacific. So the luxurious amenities on board the Indian Pacific are the same as the Garland, and they're the perfect complement to changing scenery passing by outside on those train windows. So you're going to get stops and experiences in Kalgoorlie, Rallina and Cook. You'll have the opportunity to get to know the ghost towns, and each day offers something new and exciting to explore. Now, once again, we have priced our itineraries with the gold service. However, you can inquire about upgrading to the platinum level as well. Our first itinerary today is the Sydney to Darwin. It's an 11-day journey, and you're going to get to enjoy the rail holiday of a lifetime aboard two of the world's most iconic trains, as I mentioned, the Indian Pacific and the Garland. So you're going to have an adventure that takes you from the bright lights and beautiful harbour of Sydney to the cosmopolitan city of Adelaide, the wonder that is Kangaroo Island, and then from there you get to travel to the red centre of Australia aboard the Garland, the world's longest train, and to the capital of Australia's Northern Territory, Darwin. Now, in terms of inclusions, you're going to enjoy not just the experiences on board both the Indian Pacific and the Garland, and the group tours that are offered in the likes of Broken Hill, Marla and Catherine, but we also feature our own trips. So we have a hop-on, hop-off tour of the capital city, Darwin, a very tropical city there, and a full-day excursion of Kangaroo Island where you get to explore the nature and wildlife at its best. Our next itinerary is Australia Coast to Coast Adventure from Perth. So you've got a 14-day itinerary here, and you get to spend 2 nights in cosmopolitan Perth before boarding the Indian Pacific for an epic journey to Adelaide in gold service. You get to discover Adelaide on your own, then board the overland to Melbourne, and then you can also then journey up from Melbourne to Sydney. So you can do this itinerary in reverse. We do offer that. And it starts obviously in Sydney, and then you have an 11-day itinerary going all the way over to Perth. But either way, travelling across the width of Australia, this is an epic journey that travels through a wide range of scenery and offers many unique experiences that should be done at least once in a lifetime. Now, included on the itinerary beyond the actual train journeys, we have a hop-on, hop-off tour of Perth, and that's the opportunity there to visit Kings Park and the Botanic Gardens of Perth. And then you'll have time to discover the lively city of Adelaide. You get to relax along the Yarra and shop in Melbourne and watch the Phillip Island Penguin Parade at Summerland Beach. Then when you finally reach your destination to Sydney, you're going to experience the Blue Mountains, and that's on a full day all-inclusive tour. and you'll get to see the City of Sydney in all its glory with a Sydney attraction pass. So you can use this to visit the likes of Taronga Zoo as a priority guest, or the Sea Life Aquarium, the Sydney Tower Eye, or do a city tour of Sydney to visit its world famous harbour and also Bondi's golden beaches, and that's a hop on hop off bus tour. Now, we do offer many more tours, as I mentioned, across Australia. It utilises the same train services we've discussed, and that's including our shorter 8-day Great Garland adventure visiting Darwin, Alice Springs and Adelaide, and this 7-day length journey that starts in Sydney going on the Indian Pacific all the way across to Perth, where you're going to get to have 2 nights there to enjoy some more of the wonders of Western Australia. Now, for a destination very close to my heart, we have New Zealand, and we have a total of 6 itineraries for New Zealand. I'll be going over 2 of the most popular holidays for you once again. But first, let's go over the trains included in the itineraries. Now, the first one is the Northern Explorer. So this runs between Auckland and Wellington. It's a full-day rail experience. And the Northern Explorer only has 1 class of service, but it is very roomy on board. It's very comfortable on board experience. And as you can see here, they have nearly panoramic windows, so lots of uninterrupted views. With that though, you do have to check in any of your full luggage before you get on board. You can just take a little backpack there because all you've got is just that space above you to put all your luggage. Now, there's an observation car that is open to all, and there's plenty of space there, so everyone can spread out and there's no obstacles to your view. You can move from one side of the car to the other, and the other great benefit is that the windows are also open, so it gets you to breathe in that fresh air as you go through the likes of the mountains and the fields of the wildflowers there. And there's also a snack car on board, so you're able to visit there, pick up a sandwich, a salad, maybe some cold drinks, piece of cake, cup of tea. Lots available there for purchase during the journey. Now, these trips are very multimodal when it comes to transportation. So I mentioned trains, but we also have ferries and motor coaches at different points. So the next transport that we utilise is the Inter-Islander ferry. It's a stunning 3-hour trip. I've actually done it myself. It goes between the North and the South Island. So it takes you from Wellington to Picton, and as well as this, you get to cross this very picturesque Charlotte Sound area over the course of the last hour of the journey. And it ducks between a whole heap of tiny islands. It really is quite the highlight of a journey. Now, once you arrive into Picton on the South Island, the ferry service seamlessly connects with the Coastal Pacific train. Now, this train runs from spring to autumn. It's a half-day journey that takes you between the mountains and skirts along that eastern coastline with amazing views of the Pacific Ocean. Now, between April and October, the rail service is replaced by coach, but it will take you all the way to Christchurch. And like the Northern Explorer, the accommodations on board are the same. So 1 class, and it features a snack car and an observation car. Now, last but certainly not least, we have the TranzAlpine. So this is the train journey in New Zealand that most people are familiar with. It travels from Christchurch to Greymouth and journeys between 2 very different sceneries. So you have snow-capped mountains and tropical rainforest at different stretches on the half-day journey. Now, this is a great opportunity to witness the spectacular sight of the Southern Alps from a different perspective. Even if you've visited New Zealand before, this is something quite different and you should definitely do this. Now, in terms of itineraries, I'm going to kick off with the Essential New Zealand itinerary. It's over 7 nights, 8 days. It's the shortest of our new itineraries, and it ranges all the way up to the 19 days. But this one in particular hits a lot of highlights. So the rail journey really is the essential experience for any visitor to New Zealand. It comes with the vibrant and diverse cities of Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, and that together with the 3 scenic rail journeys and the unforgettable Inter-Islander ferry crossing. It's a great rail adventure that will live long in your memories. So the itinerary kicks off in Auckland, which is renowned for its beautiful harbour. And as well as this, you have some exciting shopping, dining, outdoor recreation, and entertainment options. Highly recommend. You can see in this picture here, the Sky Tower. It means that you can take in those spectacular 360-degree views of the city. And then you have the capital city of Wellington, and that's situated at the southern end of the North Island. It has a very laid-back vibe, and it's packed with incredible culture, history, landscapes, and cuisine. So over the day that you have there, you can take the cable car to the Botanic Gardens. You can see this here. You can check out Oriental Bay, which is the harbour area, or you can just peruse the city's many museums and art galleries. There really is a lot to do there. And then heading over by ferry and rail, you'll reach Picton on the South Island. So this is a fantastic location, not just for, of course, it has its transport connections, but it's also a very easy spot to reach dozens of local wineries and food artisans. Been on a wine and chocolate tour there, which was very much a highlight. And then you finish up in Christchurch. Now this is the perfect base camp for exploring the South Island. So this vibrant city features beautiful architecture, stunning botanic gardens, and exciting activities such as taking the Christchurch gondola for the 360-degree views of the surrounding landscape. Our next itinerary is the Kiwi Explorer. So it's a 10-night, 11-day holiday that takes in a little bit more of that adventurous side of New Zealand. So it starts off at the top of the North Island. You'll experience the otherworldly magic and history of Rotorua. And that's before you head south towards the capital city of Wellington. You cross the majestic Cook Strait aboard the inter-island ferry, and you'll follow that beautiful Christchurch coastline area. So that's on the coastal train to Christchurch, and then you get on the scenic TranzAlpine train to end the day in the shadows of the Franz Josef Glacier, and that's on the west side of the South Island. Then you go further south to the outdoor mecca of Queenstown, where you get to tour the magnificent Fiordlands, and you get to visit Doubtful Sound. It's a highlight. And then you'll get the chance to also admire Mount Cook, New Zealand's highest peak, en route back to Christchurch. Now, sitting in the Pacific Rim of Fire, you have Rotorua, and it's a geothermal wonderland. So you have your bubbling mud pools, your clouds of steam, and the natural hot springs that are perfect for bathing and relaxing in. So after you marvel for a day of the distinctive landscapes and the volcanic activity within the park, you can actually enjoy a simple soak in a natural hot stream. And then off the beaten track, you get Doubtful Sound, which is more remote and larger than Milford Sound. And to reach it, you actually need to cross the alpine route of Wilmot Pass through the Fiordland's most dense rainforest to Deep Cove, and then finally get on board a modern catamaran for a 3-hour cruise of amazing scenery that goes out to the Tasman Sea. Now, rounding off this trip, I mentioned you get to visit Mount Cook, and this is the highest mountain in New Zealand. It's part of the national park. It has 19 peaks over 3,000 metres. So you'll get to stop there and sit in the shadows of this magnificent mountain. Now, as mentioned, we do have many other itineraries that take in this stunning part of the world, and that includes our Classics of New Zealand 10-day itinerary. So you'll have the opportunity on this one to visit the Milford Sound. And on our Scenic New Zealand 14-day tour, you get a stay in Kaikoura, and that's on the South Island on the East Coast, and you'll have an opportunity to see some of the diverse wildlife of Kaikoura. And you're going to get the guaranteed whale viewing there, the seals and the penguins. The Best of New Zealand 16-day tour, that visits Napier, real highlight. It's on the east coast of the North Island, and there's street after street of stunning and beautifully restored Art Deco buildings. And it also includes a winery tour with tastings and cheese at a few of the different wineries of the region. And then our 19-day itinerary, the Ultimate New Zealand, it has 2 nights spent in the Bay of Islands, right on the top of the North Island. So you're going to get the chance to cruise around And as well as that, you get to soak up the atmosphere and the history of the location that's deemed the birthplace of New Zealand. So lots of things to think about. Every one of these itineraries has something new and different in terms of its highlights. So well worth looking at our website, railbookers.com.au, explore the itineraries and see which itinerary suits you best. Now, hopefully some of these itineraries have inspired you for your next holiday. So I'd love to know right now, where are you planning on traveling to next? Pop those answers in the question box. I'd love to hear from some of you as to where you're looking to go next. And fingers crossed, it won't be too much longer till we can all travel once again. Fantastic. So New Zealand, as we mentioned, I think a lot of us are anticipating the travel bubble for New Zealand to open up soon between Australia and New Zealand and visit this amazing country and do it in a different way than maybe we've done before. I know a lot of people have done cruises, but now they want to go on land, and rail is such a great way to do that and explore. Now, of course, we do sell the world when it comes to Railbookers. So, you know, going to the Canadian Rockies remains a big bucket list for a lot of people. And I can see that coming through here in terms of suggestions as well. And we can do the Rocky Mountaineer. We can also do Via Rail, which is the national rail for Canada. We can put all the itineraries together, whether it's just, you know, a few days up in the Rocky Mountains, or whether you want to go the length and breadth and go from Vancouver to Toronto. So let us know and we'll be able to help you out with that. Fantastic. So obviously a lot of people very keen to travel again, myself included, and lots of destinations that we're all very keen to visit soon. Now, okay, I know that for a lot of you, we've been highly reviewed by our past clients, and you like to hear these testimonials. And here are just some of those that we have received recently. And one of the elements I will point out that our travellers love how easy it is that we make their holidays. So we do offer that one-stop shop booking experience for all your needs on your next trip. And we also understand, we know it's hard when you're traveling. Right now, a lot of people want that flexibility. So we're hoping for a normality once again, and we have that new booking policy in place. So any new and existing reservations can change travel dates or cancel up to 5 days prior to departure without any fees. So we do offer that peace of mind about any future travel you may wish to book. Now, as no doubt you would have gathered, I am very passionate about my rail travel, but you don't just need to take my word for it. Railbookers has been awarded as the Rail Operator of the Year in 2019 by our own trade. So we have the Travel Awards, and it has also been covered in the likes of Lonely Planet and Forbes. And we really do appreciate you all being here with us at the webinar today. So I'd like to let you know that we do run these sessions every Tuesday. They cover a variety of destinations and products. So our next week's session will cover how to escape the crowds by visiting the American national parks with Amtrak vacations. And then on June 23rd, we have a webinar featuring 5 of the greatest train journeys on Earth. So these sessions, they run at 10 a.m., 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. If you are interested, feel free to let us know. I'd be happy to sign you up for these. Now is the all-important time to take those questions. I had mentioned you can pop your questions into the question box there. Do feel free to put them in there now if you haven't already done so. And I'm here now live to take all your questions and answer anything that you may wish to hear about. Okay, so our first question is in regards to deposits. Great question. So we do our quotes. We quote in Australian dollars, as we mentioned, and then your deposits would be made within 7 days of quoting. That's going to lock in all the costs for you, and the cost is $250 per person. That's enough to lock in the cost for you. And then your full payment is generally due 90 days out from departure. Excellent. I know some of you may have missed just the start of this presentation. Do not worry. What we're going to do is we are going to send out an email within sort of the next 24 hours, and that's going to have a link so you can watch back this presentation and you can catch up on anything you may have missed, or maybe you just want to hand it over to some friends and then convince them to go traveling with you as well and get some more information. So you feel free to share this presentation when we send out that link in the next 24 hours. And we have a fantastic question here about customizing. So I mentioned we can customize any of these itineraries. We can do it as a round trip, do it in reverse. We can upgrade your hotels, even your accommodation on the trains where possible. And all of this is no charge. So we customize, everything that we do is independent. So all the itineraries you see here are actually independent journeys that we've put together based on the popular journeys that have been taken in the past by our clients. So the only difference you'll find with taking one of these ready-made itineraries or the customizing is the length of time that it takes. So when you call through on our reservations line, it only takes 3 seconds. You'll get through to our reservations team. If it's an itinerary that you don't want to make changes to, we can almost instantly quote for you. If you want to change anything, it may just take a little while longer, but they will generally talk you through that. Maybe in half an hour, you would be able to get a quote that is customised for your needs. Wonderful. If there are any final questions, well, I really do appreciate those questions. They were great questions. Thank you so much for that. And of course, if you do have any more questions, you can always ask our reservations team. You can give them a call on 1300 938 534. And do remember that when it comes to Railbookers, 2 days to 2 years. This is the long and short of our booking period. So you can book as far in advance as 24 months and as soon as just 2 days before departure. We have all the prices and the schedules ready for quoting for you right now. And if you're planning your 2021 holidays, give us a call. I also know that for some of you, it might not be the right time to start looking in those future travel plans. You're still waiting for that go, that green light. Well, don't worry, because when you're ready, we're ready. Even if you have questions on our itineraries or you'd like a quote to save for later, don't hesitate to give us a call now. The photo here actually features our staff working across the globe. They're working from home, but they are ready to speak to you. So we're happy to help. Give us a call. So I'd really like to say thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you appreciated the webinar. I hope that we've inspired you on your next travels. No doubt we'll hear from you soon, whether it be on our next webinar series or when you give us a call on the reservations line. In the meantime, take care. Have a great day.